Hi. Alright. So, I really don't know why I haven't done this sooner. Because, like, this is one of my biggest obsessions ever. If you could see my wall right now, it's just filled with Hunger Games posters. But, yeah. So, I figured I'd do a review on the movie. Because why not? I've seen it twice already. I think that's my extent, though. I hope I can wait until it comes out on DVD. Not as bad, though. I saw Catching Fire 3 times in the theaters, so it's not as bad. But regardless, when it comes out on DVD, I plan to get the 3-disc special thing, like I've gotten with the other two. Because I figure, if you get it, you gotta go all the way, alright? You gotta get the big thing, okay? So, Mockingjay Part 1. Now first off, I know there's so many mixed feelings about the movie being put into 2 parts. At first I was really upset because I was like, I mean, I guess I sort of still am because I'm not about to wait a whole freaking year for part 2. Like, that seems like so much torture. Especially the way they ended it, which I predicted that's exactly where they were going to end it, and boom, I was right. So I think in that point that made me upset because I know I have to wait a whole year. I wish they just could have like put the second part out like in the summer or something. That would have been so much easier. But no, we have to wait until next November. So that's going to be a really long wait. So, but then again, I read Mockingjay again. I've read it like 5 times now. And I was reading it, and where they cut it off, and, you know, it kind of makes sense because, like, half of the book is, like, you know, what we just saw, you know, and that's, like, one whole part. And then the next part is actually very different because they have Peeta back, and they, you know, they're trying to help him remember things, and then it's the big finale of them taking down the Capitol, and, you know, that sort of thing. So, if you ever read the book, if I start talking about the second part, I would not watch, because I will probably talk about the next part of the book. Okay, so, all in all, I was actually really, really pleased with part 1. And I think it's because of the director. He did an incredible job on Catching Fire. I watched Catching Fire probably way too many times than I should. But it's like my favorite movie ever. And he did so good with this one. And I wish he could have done the first one. But anyways, it was really good. And I thought, you know, because with the first time ever I read Mockingjay, it was kind of slow, and it was kind of hard to, you know, keep up with what was going on. Of course, when I read it, you know, more times, I was like, oh, okay, that makes more sense. But I guess the first time reading it just kind of bored me a little bit. And that took me the longest to read because it didn't catch, like, my full-on interest. I mean, it did, but I don't know. The way it was written, I guess, was just a little slow. I don't know. But the movie itself was so good, and I thought that it wasn't going to keep my interest the whole time. It did, the whole time. Like, I wasn't, like, bored. I wasn't like, okay, when is this going to happen? When is it, you know, like, let's move on. No. I thoroughly enjoyed the whole thing. And, I think the only thing that bothered me was, Gale. But he annoyed me in the books, too, so I knew that was coming. If you haven't guessed by now, I do not like Gale at all. I just don't. And I don't like him with Katniss either. No. I think I think when I read Mockingjay, that was like, that drew the line for me. I'm like, nope. See ya. Like, I knew he was arrogant, but Mockingjay is very arrogant. And in the movie, too. Quite a few times I just wanted to punch him in the face. And he's not even the villain! And I just wanted to punch him in the face. So, there are just some lines. There was one scene with him that was in the book, and I distinctly remember it. But the first time I watched it, I was like gagging. I was like, oh, gross. No, it was when Katniss, when she kisses him, and he's like, I knew you'd do that. She's like, why? I didn't. He's like, because you only seem to care, or whatever, when I'm in pain. He's like, don't worry, it'll pass, and just walks off. I'm like, could you be more? I really cannot stand him. He's my least favorite character in the series. I just do not like Gale. Trying to think the pinpoints. Every time Peeta got on the screen, I wanted to sob because, the first time he looked normal, but every other time that he was on the screen, he looked thinner and more beat up, and, I knew that was coming, because obviously you read that in the book, you know it's coming, but seeing it on screen made it so much worse, because it's like, you don't want to see that, but you did anyways. And then the ending, I thought, everyone in my theater thought that was where they were going to end it, when he's, choking her, and then Boggs knocks him out, and the screen goes black, and everyone's expecting the credits, but then, another scene appears, and everyone in the theater was like, oh, whew, but it kind of made sense that they had to say something afterwards, because people who never read the books would have been like, a what? They would have not have gotten that. So it made sense they had to explain a little bit afterwards. But there's only 3 minutes after that. There wasn't that much longer, but still, I knew that they did a good job in trying to explain it before the next one, so that was good. You finally got to see a Finnick and Annie scene, that I knew that was going to ruin me, and it did. They are adorable. They are other than Everluck, they're the only couple I actually like in the series. So, to see them have, a scene together, just, yes. I knew it wasn't much, but for me it was enough because I actually got to see them together. And I know the next one's going to be sheer torture because you get to see them happy, and you get to see their wedding, and all the other stuff, and then you know what happens to Finnick. I really can't. I wish that Suzanne Collins didn't kill Finnick off because he's my second favorite male character, and I wanted him to stay, but nope. Anyways, okay. I gotta stop. The second part's gonna basically ruin me because it's when, most of the people die, and I'm not gonna be ready for that at all. I wasn't emotionally ready for this one because I knew that there were certain scenes that would, make my heart go. The Hanging Tree song, yes. Didn't expect it to give me chills as much as it did because when you're reading the books, especially in the first one, you read the song that she sang for Rue, and the one that, her and Katniss, or Prim and Katniss, sang, and that was, the song that, they knew in their family and everything, and so, that, it's hard to read it, and then you want to, hear it, and, I liked the one that, in the first one, but this one just, blew my mind, it was so good, and I know Jennifer Lawrence said she can't sing, but she did really good, and literally, the day after I saw it at the premiere, I got it on my iPod. I was like, I need this song. So I listened to it a lot because it's just so good. And the instrumentals throughout the whole thing were incredible. Such good music. So yeah, the Hanging Tree song was definitely one of my favorite scenes. Because the song was just... that scene was incredible. I really liked... I mean, a lot of people are like, okay, Effie wasn't in it, you know, like, it was her, you know, her team. But, I don't know, I kind of liked it with Effie. I thought that that was actually a good change that they did. Because I love Effie. And I loved seeing her, you know. I really liked that. So, I personally liked that change. Especially because her and Haymitch got to have more, scenes, and wasn't always butting heads this time. So, all in all, I think the movie was so good. And, like I said, I saw it twice because I was like, no, I need to watch that again. Like, I need to see what I missed. Because when I see it for the first time, I'm like, I'm not always focused on the moment because I'm, like, in feelings. I'm like, you know. So I knew I had to see it a second time, and I did. So. But yeah, I really liked it. I know a lot of people are like, there wasn't enough action, or there wasn't enough, you know. I'm like, okay, well, if you read the book, you know that there isn't really that much action. Like, it's not like the Hunger Games where you're constantly, like, at your toes, like, oh my gosh, you know, this happened, this happened, this person dies, you know, like, it's, you know, like, in the games, you know, it is completely different, you know, and you have to know that. The one thing that they didn't keep, there's actually a couple things that they didn't put in the movie, but overall I was okay with it. The one thing was that Katniss didn't say that I killed Snow. All she said was that my sister gets to keep her cat. But all in all, you know that she's, you know, what happened anyways. So, I mean, yeah, Catching Fire was the same way. There's, like, a few little scenes or a few little lines that I would have liked to see in it. But I didn't care because I was like, the movie was really good. And, I mean, that's the thing. You can always go back and just read the book. It's not that hard to read. So, yeah. I'm going to dread the second part because not only are there, like, terrible parts that are probably going to make me cry, but there are also parts that I'm going to be really happy and, like, wanting more. Like, there's going to be more Everlark scenes. Like, yes! Because they only had, like, one scene together. There's going to be more Finnick and Annie. There's, you know, there's going to be more good stuff, but there's also going to be more bad stuff. So I don't know how I'm going to react. But that's a year away, unfortunately. So I plan to see that one when it premieres too, because that's going to be, like, I'm going to be happy and sad at the same time because it's going to be ending. That's going to be it. But yeah. Love to the movie. I can't wait till it comes out on DVD so I can watch it again and again. I really thought that District 13, they did such a good job doing that. And, for those of you who know, I'm not looking forward to, President Coin in the next one. Because they make her seem so, like, you know, okay, and that's when it's like, you don't know half of it. Like, you really don't. So, I'm really excited to see how they do everything in the next one. I hate the waiting part, but yeah. So yeah, if you guys saw it, tell me what you thought in your comments. I'm hopefully going, I don't know when it comes out on DVD, but I just hate waiting. If you could tell, I just hate waiting. I really just want to see the next part. I think the part that just broke me was Peeta, though. That was, like, the worst thing to watch on screen, I think. And when they bombed the hospital too. President Snow is so disgusting. I can't. So awful. Anyways, my advice, if you hate waiting like I do, just read Mockingjay over and over again. The second part, because it's like watching the movie, but it's in the book. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be watching the older ones, and I'm going to be reading the books, because what else can I do? I can't do anything. I have to wait a whole freaking year. But yeah, that's my review. If I missed anything, ask me about certain things, and I'll comment about it. But yeah, that's what I thought of anyways. So yeah, loved the movie. Hope you guys liked it too, and now the long freaking wait for part 2.